Good evening and welcome to my stream. My name is holdmykidney, and tonight I'm continuing with my progress through Invisible Ink on Expert Mode and Ironman. So we're into day 2. There's about... Let's get into this mode. We're into day 2. We're about halfway through. Honestly, you know, this is the point that I'm kind of worried about with these sessions, because this is normally around the time that things start to go a little bit wrong for me. The difficulty level ramps up, the number of guards ramp up, the kinds of opponents you're facing ramp up, and it really does, you know, for the way I like to play the game, which is to get in and out of levels completely unseen. It really does only take kind of one little thing to go wrong before you find that actually your chances of completing the level have been massively screwed. And I'd be very disappointed if I don't manage to at least take this Twitch series through to the final mission. Even if I don't finish the final mission, I would like to at least get there. But we'll see where we are. This is, like I say, this is partway through day 2. We're about 5 hours off hitting day 3, which is the obviously the last day. So let's just have a recap of where we are. Monster has something to buy and sell. Let's just see what he has to say for himself. Okay, so he's offering a sniper rifle. I'm not going to take that up just at the moment. Although let me just check. Okay, we have a possible upgrade here, which means we can kill people without advancing the alarm tracker. That's something that might stack quite well with a sniper rifle, particularly since I think somewhere here we've maybe got... No, okay, I thought for a moment we had +1 to armor to ranged weapons, but we don't. But +1 armor piercing, that's worth a kill. Is it worth spending 560 credits on a sniper rifle? Let's have a look at the missions and see what we can stack this with. At the moment we don't have any cyber upgrade facilities, which is annoying because we have these 2 cyber upgrades here sort of in hand, waiting for spare slots that at the moment we just don't have on these agents. We have a vault key in hand. We have a vault disruptor 3, and we have the paralyzer. Okay, so Banks potentially needs an upgrade, although she's gaining 2 action points for every broken firewall, which is pretty useful, and she can unlock security level 1 doors without a pass card. So if you've seen part 2 of this stream, you'll remember that we broke Banks out of a detention facility. So looking at these missions available, we've got 2 more detention centres available. I really don't think we need more than 3 agents. 3 agents is more than enough. I'm already thinking that we don't have quite enough credits maybe to upgrade Banks the way that I'd like. We have a server farm, and we have 2 options here to unlock more missions. That's an interesting problem. Anything we take that's over a 5-hour flight is going to take us on to day 3, so really this is our last chance to tackle a level 2 difficulty mission. Let me see what software we've got. Okay, we currently have ping, which is pretty useful, so we have slots for another 2 pieces of server equipment, and these can make all the difference. There's a couple of software upgrades that I would particularly like to get, so I think at this point in time I'm going to head for this server farm and see what that gives us. Remembering of course that when we get into day 3 a few more extra missions are going to appear on the map, so we might still get a chance to head for a cybernetic upgrade facility and use those extra body parts. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to take this vault access card with us, because I can't think of any scenario in a server farm mission where that vault key would be needed. So let's do it, let's commit.
Are used to develop new networks.
And we're down to about 17 hours now, so even when day 3 hits, we're going to have a chance of probably maximum 2 missions, realistically, before we have to hit the final mission. Okay, so a lot of doors, a lot of options here. It's a good job there are 3 of us. Yeah, this is getting back to the thing that I was saying about the start rooms. I was saying in a previous episode, you know, it can be very frustrating when you are trying to sort of, you know, go cautiously if you have a start room that an enemy patrols into. This means that these characters here, you know, are really going to have to be in cover down this way somewhere, and if we have an additional guard coming in through this door, we're potentially really going to be in trouble already. So let's just go carefully and see what we can see. There's almost a temptation actually to maybe throw these guys into this other room, but I think to be on the safe side we'll stick with this room. Let's see what's on the other side of this door before we worry too much.
The server terminal is in that room.
Wow.
It would be a shame to leave it undisturbed.
Okay, so on either side of our start mission,
She likes to play with her food before she eats it.
we have not only our exit location, but we also have our target. So theoretically, we could just get into this room, buy what we need, and get out without really troubling the rest of the level. I have to say it's tempting. Let's bring her in here. Console database. Yeah, let's hack these 2 things. Tuck her in behind this machine just in case someone comes into this door down here. And the same with Prism. We can actually just bring Prism completely out of this room, and that negates any worries about that roving sentinel. Let's bring her over here and grab that power. She's not in cover, but we've potentially got a good chance to get her into cover if someone, you know, if someone does walk in through that door and spot us. We have options ultimately. Okay, didn't hear any footsteps. Robots, of course, notoriously deaf. I'm just wondering if we should just get in and hit this server farm now, because of course any useful stuff we pick up is going to be useful for the rest of the level. And also let's just check where he's going. He's going back that way, so Dr. Zoo can come in this direction. Okay, we've got sound detectors on this level, which means we need to be careful about using the run option. I'm going to send Banks back just to deal with some of these red doors. Just be handy to get those open. Okay, wish me luck. Excellent, the one piece of software that I really wanted is here, and that is Wisp. Wisp is really useful. It costs you 3 power for every use, but basically any guard that is currently revealed in your line of sight of your agents is permanently tagged, and what that means is that no matter where they go, whether they go out of sight and come back, we will always be able to see their patrol route, and even when they hit an alert state, we'll get that prediction of where those guards are going to walk when you click on the blue eye. For me, this is an absolutely essential piece of software to tackling the more difficult missions in this game successfully, so we're definitely having that. In terms of what's left, we've still got 700 credits left, so we can have anything apart from charge. Having used Rapier previously, I personally find it not very helpful. It's quite a good early game hacking tool because it allows you to, you know, break firewalls quite cheaply, but actually once you get up into the higher alarm levels and things start getting a bit more difficult, you can run out of power really quickly. I mean, on the final alarm level, this piece of software is costing you 6 power per individual firewall level, and you know that only gives you basically 3 clicks. So I've got a few other options here. Emergency reserve is quite nice. If we're below 4 power, you know, if it's 3 or below power at the start of your turn, you gain an additional 5 power. That can be really useful. I don't generally like these ones that give you something in return for making everything else more complicated. So this one here reduces the power cost of all programs but adds a cooldown to all programs, so it's kind of give and take thing. Wrench 2 only works on firewalls that are exactly 2 strength. It feels kind of limited. Leash allows you to extend drone control. Wildfire, again, gain 5 power but raise all firewalls on the level by 1. To me it's just too risky. And then emergency reserve, which was about. Hunter's an interesting option. Gives me the option to kill a demon. In some respects I quite like that, because sometimes we do just need to hack something regardless of the fact that it has a demon on it, and actually that can be really problematic. I mean, if you're really struggling to get out of a level and you have to hack something that releases a demon which reduces all your agents' movement, that can be really troubling. So I think I'm going to go aggressive on this, and I'm going to take the hunter. So we're pretty much out of money here. So really, what we're now doing, yeah. So one of the quirks of this level.
Came online the second the connection dropped. I knew we couldn't trust that damn cat.
Don't say I didn't warn you. Pity you can't get that gear anywhere else.
So one of the features of these server farm levels is every time you use the thing, every time you come out of the computer, this thing happens. It installs additional demons. So for example, this one here is now going to release something on us when that hacks. So we can use this kill demon straight away. Take that off. I don't even know what the demon was. Frankly, I don't want to risk it. Might be worth unlocking the demon database just to find out what we're up against. Okay, so we've just hacked a terminal that tells us where all the power terminals are, and that, even without unlocking the map, this gives us a rough idea of the shape of the level. We are roughly in the middle here, so if we keep branching outwards with these characters, I am basically going to find my way you know, into some additional rooms with some safes, and I think because I've got 3 characters I am going to push the boat out and you know, try and cover some of these additional locations. So let's just use her special ability. I'm just going to unlock that door. I'm going to peek so that that droid is in line of sight, although it isn't. That's curious. Okay, fine. I'm going to peek again. Okay, we've got a beam there that will activate an additional security demon. And we've got a room here that is well covered by cameras. Okay. Oh, and we've got a guard. So I can demonstrate already this wisp power. If I come over here, if I press this now, oh, I can't go like that. If I press this now, unfortunately all it's tagged is that one, but we can see that that particular drone is currently stationary. So let's set some of these cameras hacking. Ah, this is an interesting demon. This is a demon which raises the firewalls of any safes, but puts more money behind them. So actually this can be a slightly beneficial virus, if you like. Obviously if you have the means to get through those additional firewall levels. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to do that one just yet, just because it gives you a limited amount of time that those safes have increased money behind them. So actually I'm going to hack this one a little bit later, just to allow me to hopefully benefit from that additional cash. Let's grab this power. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to pickpocket the power out of this droid as well. Look at that. And an additional buster chip, which is occasionally handy. So let's open up this door. Have a little look at what's around. So we know about this door here. Hopefully at some point we will find the power supply that corresponds with that laser grid and we can switch it off. Let's just see where he's going. So that's stationary. I've got a sort of feeling that that room is going to be a waste of time. I'm just going to activate her holo disguise because this means I can open the door without triggering a response. Yeah, that room is empty and pointless, so that's, in some respects that's good. I actually like closing off potential dead ends. We now know that we don't need to explore in that direction at all. I'm going to potentially leave unlocking that safe until we've activated this Felix thing. Let's do that then, because we're getting near to safes. I'm going to make that everything as well, actually. Let's save our power for when we really need it. Bring her up, she'll be in position to start investigating this doorway. Okay, it's only a 10% increase to credits, but I think actually at this point, particularly with 3 agents to try and upgrade, every little really does count. So we've got 5 turns now to hit as many of these safes as we possibly can. A little bit of a risk opening this door. Something's got sight on it, but I'm not sure what.
Did you see that?
And it's a guard, true to form. So that guard is now going to come and investigate this point. Question. Can I get to that safe and back out of sight? I think I can. So let's move Dr. Zoo as far away as we possibly can. I could set a trap for this guy, but I really want to avoid alerting him wherever I possibly can. Right, we're bringing her out, aren't we? There's no sound traps. I'm going to run with her. Always worth remembering that mechanised enemies cannot hear. That was silly. Let me just use this tag again. I think she's going to be okay there. Just trying to work out my line of sight. I think she'll be alright. I hope she'll be alright. That's more the truth of it. So let's bring Banks back into this room. Grab a bit of additional power. And just stay here tucked out of sight. Let's see if a peak... No, unfortunately a peak doesn't really give us any additional info about that level. Okay, so this is where the action is. This is the most troubling part. There goes that droid, so I was right about that. He's going to have a look around.
Nothing.
Okay. Excellent, he didn't see anything. Which is very good news. Okay. So he's about to go back. Let's just pick his pocket for a moment. I'm not going to take the card because I'll end up encumbered. In fact, I think I can stay here without too many worries. He'll end up encumbered, and I really don't need it. We've got banks to unlock doors. And actually, one of the things that's nice about the design of this game is that any room that has a red door on it, there's always a second way in. The procedurally generated nature of this game allows a design which means you can always get around even without a door key. That might involve walking through a laser grid, it might involve going a long way round, but there is always another way through a red door other than using a key. Okay, so this camera's coming back on. Is that going to cause us any immediate problems? No, I think we can at least wait a turn before we need to worry about that too much. Priority really has to be that safe. Still haven't found the power supply for this laser grid here, so that's going to be interesting. Okay, leaving him there. Prism. Okay, we really want to be bringing her into this room, so actually have we pickpocketed this for power? We haven't. Let's take its power. I love the fact that you can pick robots' pockets to steal kind of electricity from them. Let's just move you to there. It's interesting that it's not giving me the bust. This game often does this. If a camera is in the process of rebooting, it doesn't let me switch it off using the Buster chip, even though it's hackable. I'm not sure if that's a bug or a feature, but I'm just going to set that to hack, and I'm going to turn her disguise on so that she doesn't get spotted. And let's see where Banks is at. So Banks can sit there. On the next turn she'll be able to take the money out of this safe, which should be a little bit boosted, which is nice. Ah! It's very annoying when that happens. Sometimes when the guards come off their patrol pattern and return, they sort of end up facing the other way. Unfortunately, this guard has chosen to turn around and immediately face the way he was facing before, and there's just no way that I can get past him without triggering an alert. So I think the thing to do is going to be I'm gonna walk into this space here that he will notice. That's going to bring him all the way onto this level.
What?
So because he's already tagged, we can immediately see that change. And then if I put Dr. Zoo here, I should be able to nip in behind him and just get through that door. Obviously the way out is going to be more of a problem, but we'll figure that out when we get there. Okay, Banks now has plenty of action points because of her augment that gives her a boost. I'm also going to run to this terminal and take the power. Now I could just walk through this laser grid, because in all honesty, you know, I've got the ability to kill demons if I really need to. All this is going to do... Ah, no, that's not true, because the demon that it activates will be activated. I won't get the chance to kill it. So yeah, let's just be a bit cautious with her for the time being. There are other ways, again, like the red doors, there are other ways to get through here than necessarily going straight through that laser grid. So let's just bring her back. Prism has plenty of power. Let's turn off her disguise, we don't need it. And we'll bring her to join the others. A little bit of support can sometimes be handy. Okay, true to form, this guard has now come out to investigate what he saw, and actually, thankfully, what he has seen is further than he can walk in one round. So actually, even on the next turn, he's just going to move forward and open this and check on this space. So I've got plenty of time now as Dr. Zoo to nip into this room behind him. In fact, I could bring my whole team through that door, but I don't really know that I want to. Interesting. What does Banks want to do? Okay, if I open this door...
Hey, did you see that?
It's a little bit annoying. He's now going to be looking left and right at this door location. So let's reactivate. I shouldn't have turned her disguise off. Let's move Banks out of the way. Whoops. Okay, well he's now going in a very different direction. I'm going to send Prism through this door in her disguise. Turn it off because we're on 0 power, so honestly that disguise is going to get deactivated on the next turn anyway. Let's just pop Banks out of sight there. So we've moved this guard all the way up into this other room up here. That's going to keep him well out the way for us to explore some of these other locations. So in some respects I didn't intend to do that, but that's actually been quite useful.
Investigating.
And the beauty of this
We
is,
got nothing.
because he actually hasn't seen an agent, he's still not alerted. He'll still just go back and stand in his usual patrol point without even really being particularly suspicious. Right, we've just made it to this safe before this demon runs out on us, so that's great. We're going to get a lovely bonus here. Ah, typical. So in this instance it's only a little bit of money and an object, which unfortunately is going to encumber Dr. Zoo, but it's worth picking up even if it's only to sell it. Okay, so let's see what is beyond here. So we've got ourselves a nanofab. May as well hack that for free. And of course we know that this red area here is being caused by this guard who is about to leave, so let's just... I'm going to bring Banks down and just stick her behind this door. I did consider going to this doorway down here, but I think with only 2 action points I can't risk not being able to move her through that door, and this guard is just going to slice through where she would be standing. It's not worth the risk at this stage. So that guard has realised he's seeing things and he is now making his way back. Interesting. So let's bring her back. Let's have a peek in here. Okay, so we have a droid immediately behind the doorway, and that's going to react if we try and hack anything. I haven't got enough power. Okay, because we're not on security level 2 yet, I'm not getting my drip feed of 2 power points per turn that I usually like to rely on. Okay, nothing behind these doors so far. Okay, that robot is definitely facing that way, isn't it? Let's just hack the camera. We can take this a turn at a time. That guard isn't going to come back once he's got back in position. Although hopefully he can't see that square that she's standing on. Well, we'll chance it. Okay, so nothing in this room but a camera and a power console. Can we get to the... We can't, unfortunately, get to the power console without being spotted by the camera. So I think I'm just going to leave this room. You know, in another turn, we're going to be getting 2 power per turn. And this console's only worth 3 power, so it's just not worth going after. Okay, so let's see what happens here. firewalls have gone up, which means that camera I wanted to hack has unfortunately gone slightly out of reach, and thankfully that guard's line of sight doesn't include where Banks is standing. It does unfortunately cover a lot of her routes out of there, but for the time being I want to see what's in this room. I might even try hacking this drone, which will of course alert it, but you know, looking at the outline of this building here, I really don't think there's much more for me to find. Ah, excellent. That's useful. Let's take out the power supply. That's gonna cause that laser grid to be less of a problem. And there we've got a secondary server terminal. You know, we've already got all the software that we can buy for Incognita, so I'm not going to trouble myself with that. So Prism can now start making her way out, which is very useful. So Banks is just going to sit there for a moment. I'd kind of like the contents of that safe, but I'm going to have to wait for it. And Dr. Zoo needs to start thinking about an exit strategy from this room. So if I open this door, that's going to alert that guard.
Did you see that?
He's going to come and have a little look. So let's just pop Dr. Zoo up here, well out the way, and hopefully we'll get another chance to distract that guard further, bring him further into the room, and we can double back out around him. If not, of course, we are going to be leaving this level now as soon as we are able, so I'm less concerned now about knocking guards out. They're going to be behind us, they're going to be chasing us. It's less of a problem.
Absolutely nothing going on.
One of the things that it's a shame that this game lacks, there's two safes in here that are going to be well worth going for. One of the things, yeah, that it's a pity that this game sort of lacks is the a feature from something like the Metal Gear Solid games. You know, at the moment, in order to get this guard's attention, I'm going to need to step into one of these red cross-hatched areas. It would be nice if there was a way, just standing where I am, if maybe I could tap against an object in order to get that guard's attention. Let me just see, if I step on this square, he's going to come this way round. So we can now come in this direction. We can effectively double around him, and again that's going to get us out past him. So that we're just waiting for. Question is, do droids respond when you open the door in the same way that humans do? Let's find out. Yes, they do. Okay, let's just steal the power, because I could do with that. So that droid is now going to come and investigate this location. In which case, let's stick Banks behind this door. And Prism is really just waiting for this power supply to come down at this stage. We can grab a bit more power. Tucker behind this wall. So we can do a little bit of extra hacking. I want to get this. I want this safe really to unlock at the same time as the droid, so that we can just nip in there and clear out those two safes fairly well, safely.
Investigating. Nothing.
Always worth remembering that droids have the ability to scan all the squares in the room that they're currently in, and that scan will go through open doors as well, so it's not just about line of sight with the droids. If you're in a room with them, they can often find you there. So that droid is now going to head back. I wonder if I've got enough for a tag. Yeah. So that droid's going to get back into location. That's fine. On the next turn we're going to take control of this droid. And we can move it out of the way. In fact, one of my favourite things to do with droids is just to move them as far away from where your guys are going to be as possible. in order to just keep them out of the way when they wake up. It takes about 2 or 3 turns for those droids to come back online and hunting. Of course, when they do come back online, you know, the same as knocking out a guard, those droids are alerted and will start to search for you. So that laser grid is now down. And at this point, really, we're just heading people for the exit lift. Need to be a little bit cautious with that droid being there, but I think they do sort of characters in this game, when they turn around, they do sort of turn around on a dime. There's no sense of like rotating or sweeping. That droid will just turn back on itself and head back into the room. So slightly weird placement for this security droid, that it's just facing the wall, but I suppose it's there in reserve in case an alarm goes off. So that droid has dutifully gone back into its corner. And that is a very timely increase to the safes. Oh, except the safe's already open. I wonder if they will benefit from the buff. Okay, so I'm going to move this droid down into this corner. Sometimes, so this droid is armed, so sometimes you can use it to shoot guards and other drones. But this drone here is level 2, so I wouldn't be able to kill it even if I wanted to, which in all honesty I don't really. So let's send her in to just clear out these safes. That's grand. And if I bring her to... where's he going to move to? Okay. Let's bring her down to there. Dr. Zoo at the moment is carrying slightly too much, so it's going to be helpful for me to sit him next to Banks and just level out some of this equipment a bit. In fact, that might even be a useful item for her to be carrying, so I may or may not sell it. So fingers crossed, I can't see anything going wrong at this stage. Let's just have a little look, make sure I didn't miss anything on the level, but I'm pretty sure we've cleared out every single safe and robbed the one and only guard that we know about. So that droid is currently sitting behind that door. Always remember to close doors behind us. Let's just hack this sound bug just in case on the next turn we need to run for any reason. It'd be with these characters, I mean this droid here is about to leave this room. I really want to get all 3 of these agents into the lift on the next turn, so Dr. Zoo may have to run for it.
Alarm level 3. Additional guard patrols. Stay out of the way. Warning, Damon installed.
Okay. Let's begin the evacuation. Oh, Dr. Zoo doesn't even have to run. Nice relaxing exit.
Nice work. The more tools we have at our disposal, the better.
So I think that level not too difficult actually. I think helped by the number of enemy characters that were basically stationary for the entirety of the map. And you can see here these ones that are outlined in black are ones that we didn't even trouble with our presence. The ones in green were ones that maybe went to investigate a point, and the one in red is alerted. That's the one we hacked. If you hack a droid or take out a guard, even if they don't see you, they will still be alerted. But that's a pretty good performance on that. So we are now in day 3. Let's see what the game has to offer us.
Operator, your performance.
So not many additional choices. We have a couple of places here to pick up a vault card. Honestly, we've already got a vault card. There's a nano fab, which basically means, you know, a lot of the items in the game are available for you to buy from enhanced sales points. But honestly, you know, we've already got those 2 upgrades that we can't even fit on our agents. So really the thing that we're looking for most is a cyber facility. So I think I'm gonna hit one of these executive terminals. We've got 17 hours left. We've got at least time for 2 more missions. I think what I'm going to do is hit one of these and hope that we can unlock a cyber enhancement facility, because that's what we most desperately need. So let's just see if there's anything in it.
Have elevated security credentials.
So that one there is going to have robots.
The
This one here
corporations are technically at war with each
has
other, but
guards
reality is
which
much more
have
complex.
been it's the difference between the 2 corporations. One of the corporations specializes in robotics. That corporation specializes in guards which, when they've been knocked out, their consciousness kind of creates a new demon on the network. Droids generally more difficult to deal with. They have the advantage they can't hear you, so you can run around a lot more. Plus it is only a 6-hour flight versus a 9-hour flight. There is a chance, if we go for this one, that we might get 2 more missions before the final thing. So I think I'm going to go for this one.
Executive terminals have elevated.
But before we do that, let's just check what we've got going on in here. Now, do we really need 2 buster chips? My inclination is no.
The more you buy and sell, the closer I get to retire.
What else do we pick up? We picked up a second paralyzer. Now, really what we need to do is either sell that paralyzer or up Banks's strength so she can carry an additional item. So I think I'm going to go for the additional strength. I can do 1 more upgrade on a person. Banks already gets bonuses to speed. I wonder if at this point it's worth just taking an additional point in hacking, just so that we're maximising the power that we're getting out of power stations that we approach.
Executive terminals have elevated security.
Let's do it. So at the end of this mission, it will give us a choice of a facility to unlock, and hopefully one of those will be a cybernetic enhancement facility. Because at this stage, it's one of the few things that we're going to get to use that vault key for. I gave Prism the hacking upgrade, yes. So Prism will just gain an additional 1 bonus for hacking this particular terminal. Okay, so already we've got some nice safes to get some additional money out of. There's only 1 camera in that room, so that's useful. Bring Banks down to there. And keep Dr. Zhu out of sight, again, just in case a guard decides that this room is part of his patrol pattern. Okay, nothing. So, unfortunately that camera is being a little bit persistent in terms of waiting for it to go down. Wondering if it's worth the 2 power to walk Prism into this room. Yeah, I think I will. I really don't want to lose opportunities to explore this facility. And from here, I can use the buster chip to take out that camera. So, let's deactivate the disguise. Bring Banks in to claim this power and peek through this next door. And Dr. Zoo will do his usual magic with the safes. Can't hear any movement, so either there's a lot of stationary guards hanging around again, or we're fortunate enough that the guards are all on the other side of the level somewhere. Wow. Okay, so there is our first droid. Let's use the tag. So there's no route coming off this drone here, so I'm going to have to say that that one must be stationary. Let's stay behind this door for now. And again, they've got a drone right behind the door. And another stationary drone, which is only really watching that power station, so again, not worth going after. Her back behind the door. No movement at all. Very, very quiet location, this one. Just need to be careful about how we move in case we walk into this drone's line of sight. Worth noting that drones don't have the crossed hatched areas, so human guards have areas of their vision where they're not quite sure what they've seen. The droids either can or can't see where you are or what you're doing. There's no doubt. Interesting. I think there must be a camera up in this top corner. I might risk opening the door. No, I'm not going to risk opening it on this turn. Let's save the risk until we've got more action points to deal with. Worth noting, of course, that the additional action points that Banks gains when devices are hacked doesn't count when Dr. Zoo uses his EMP device. Let's bring her out. Okay, so that droid is on a patrol. Worth knowing. That at least gives us sight on this camera to hack it. And there's another camera down here that would be useful to take control of. So the question really is how we're going to hope to get past this particular droid. I'm wondering if we've got some options with Prism in terms of using her cloak to make some progress, perhaps. It'd be really nice to get... Banks could go this way round through this red door. Now, why didn't I see that red door before? Must have just missed it. So she's potentially going to give us a way through there. So let's send Dr. Zoo into this way to sort of watch out for this big droid and working out what's going on in this room.
Alarm level 1. Additional cameras activated. Don't let them see you.
Okay. Ha! It's an awkward time to have new cameras going online. Let's get Banks out of this room as quickly as possible. But that's steadily giving us a way past this droid. Prism can, of course, pretty much do what she likes. She's got one cooldown on her Buster chip, so if I just move her into this little blind spot here. Now that's interesting that that revealed her blind spot. I wonder why. Oh, that's going to make getting out awkward. Okay, fine. Yeah, of course the ping noise distraction won't work because all the robots are deaf. Noticed a little thing about the that large circular drone that I don't think I'd ever previously appreciated, which is that they have 180-degree line of vision, which, as I've sort of said previously, makes them very hard to hide from. I wonder if she's stuck there. I might have to hack this drone in order to get a handle on my agent again. It's really going to depend on where the exit is. Prism might have to just sit tight while the rest of the team handle what's going on. It's amazing how many extra action points Banks gets with that upgrade. Okay, nothing there. So I'm going to need to be very careful about where I hide once this drone comes in. Hopefully that will be enough, but I'm very worried. Ah, there's a null drone doing the round somewhere, isn't there? I've got a horrible feeling Dr. Zoo is about to be spotted. Okay. Let's start... No, let's not.
You found the executive terminal. Hack it and we can get out of here.
That's our ultimate target. Which means I really want to know what's through this other door before I progress. Prism is very stuck, because I don't think, if her disguise got revealed when she was there before, then I suspect that she won't be able to switch it back on. Okay. Is it worth spending the 2 points to find out? Tricky. No. I think I want to make sure I save my power for more important things. Let's see what happens. And sadly, there it is. And now we've got that big powerful drone coming for us, which is not what I wanted at all. This has suddenly become a very dangerous situation. First things first, let's tag them so we know where they're going. Worth remembering that the null drone doesn't have a weapon, but the Akuma drone is very capable of killing our agent. see if there's a way round. So unfortunately that drone has a short range scanner, which means that Dr. Zoo is not going to stay hidden for very long. More of the story is, we need that extra power and we need it quickly. So it's at this point, with everything going horribly wrong all around me, that I would... there's one. There's a nanofabricator. I'm going to start that unlocking, because if I need a med gel to rescue an agent, that's going to have to be where it comes from. Right, let's see what happens in this room.
Alarm level 2. Firewalls increased.
So they know where he is, but they can't quite get eyes on him. I can actually theoretically get out of this room without being spotted. I wonder if it's worth just destroying this drone for a moment. Because this is the one with the local range scanner. This one doesn't have a scanner. Steal its power. Oh, and an accelerator chip. Those are quite handy. That's taking that out for a minute. The question is what's behind these doors worth investigating? There's a part of me that's inclined actually to just escape with Dr. Zoo for the moment. The trouble will be, I'm going to stick a shock trap on that door. The trouble will be if our exit lift is down this room somewhere. Let's really hope it isn't. And I'm going to start this Abarki drone hacking because really she's going to need to move. Let's just try activating the disguise and seeing what happens. Oh no, okay, it hasn't been revealed. So she's been sitting quietly, perhaps for no reason. Steal that power. Made it all worth activating. Right, Banks. Banks is the only one making us any progress at the moment. Okay, let's start that camera hacking and ignore it, because you sort of start to, even though the game's rooms are procedurally generated, you start to get to recognise the sorts of room layouts. And there is a very good chance that there is absolutely nothing in this room, but there's always a chance that there's doors in the corners. You know what? Let's just check while I'm here. Look, see, nothing. I was right. I could have just left it. That's fine. That will at least give us eyes on this room for if a guard appears later down the line. So that droid is back up. The thing is, of course, that if that is our way out, ultimately, these drones can be hacked. It's one of the things that's nice about drones over guards, when choosing a mission, is that you at least have that option. Okay. So it's going to head these characters both towards this terminal that needs hacking. That was careless. I should have set that hacking a little while ago. But that's okay. The Buster chip will be cooled down in another turn, so that should enable us to do that. And because I've gained that additional 2 power, I can now use this hunter to kill whatever demon is hiding on this machine. Oh, and we still haven't got the option of a cyber upgrade facility. Very, very, very frustrating. I think the best thing to do at this point in the game, we'll hit the vault, we'll use the key, we'll grab as much money as we possibly can, and we will upgrade the base stats of all those agents as much as we possibly can. I think really that is our only choice at this stage.
You've got it. Great. When you activated that terminal, it sent out an automated message to change up the guard duty. Be prepared for new patrol patterns.
And here's the way out.
Did you see that?
Oh, and I've just brought a guard in. Marvellous. Okay, there's no way we're going to be able to do this without triggering an alert. That requires 5 power. Just short. I really thought that was going to be a security camera next to the lift, but unfortunately I've lucked out. And what he's going to do is he's going to walk up to this point and he's going to look left and right, and the first thing he's going to see is going to be Prism, and she just doesn't have enough power to activate her disguise. And unfortunately, Dr. Zoo is going to have to go the long way round with regards to... Ah, that droid is moving. How useful. Perfect. So picking up that piece of data from the computer has changed some of the guards' patrols, which means that this stationary drone is now going to go on a little quest, which just gives us the chance to run past him. Thankfully the door shock traps work on droids just as well as humans.
Yeah, we're having a look. Hey, intruder!
Okay. Now we have a problem.
Damn it, they got away.
It's interesting that he's going this way round. I suppose that's because he can see that there's nothing there. But if I just run to this point here, again I should be able to double back past him. Look at all this lovely action points that Banks has got and absolutely no way of using it. It's distressing. Okay, so I'm not sure totally where that droid is going. Oh, that's because it's now under my control. So let's move it as far out the way as we possibly can.
We're checking things out.
Alarm level 3. Additional guard patrols.
Thankfully that additional guard patrol is well out of the way. And this is where my greed kicks in, because actually what I really want to do is pick this guy's pocket. Let's tag. Let's get a tag going for our currently visible devices. So he's going to head back into there. We could actually get her out at this stage. There isn't really any need. She can make the exit on full AP, so I'm not too worried. Let's bring him in, get him into cover.
Looking around.
Interesting to see where he goes next. So he's now planning to come all the way out of this room, which is going to play into our hands really a bit. He's going to walk straight out past us and basically just give us a free license to evacuate into the lift, which is just what we need at this stage. So I think this level goes to show...
Oh, there's nothing here.
I think this level goes to show that actually sometimes even when things go a bit horribly wrong, there are still ways of managing it. It gets really difficult when you get up into, once you hit security levels 5 and 6, the game starts giving away your agents' locations, and that is when things become very difficult, because you just can't hide behind objects. You find yourself, having to constantly run around in circles because guards then have investigation points on where you're standing. Okay, so that was a level 3 mission. I think in my experience, again, because of the slightly random nature of the way that these missions are generated, I feel that was a slightly easier level 3 mission than some of the others that I've encountered. But not always. I think there were sort of difficult elements to it, but at the same time, I think whenever you've got stationary guards rather than guards patrolling, I think it always makes things slightly more simple. And hello, Unstable Voltage in chat. Yeah, Unstable Voltage is making a valid point there. The fun thing about games like this is sometimes when it all does go horribly wrong. And actually, it's a shame. I've done some missions previously, which I haven't caught on Twitch, where I've just had corridors and rooms absolutely full of guards sweeping for my location. And somehow, I mean, I wouldn't have put money on me, but somehow I just managed to weave through just a couple of blind spots and managed to get everybody out without even having to use med gel to pick anyone back up with their feet. Okay, so that's another 2 missions for tonight. I'm going to call myself lucky and wrap that up there. We have been very unfortunate in not gaining a cybernetic upgrade facility. That was the thing we really wanted. And we're, unless we hit another executive terminal, basically if we do the same mission again and try and find a cyber upgrade facility, we're just not going to get one. We've got these 2 upgrades which at the moment we can't use. I'm going to have to go away and have a little think about whether I want to try and attack this mission and try and unlock that elusive cyber upgrade facility, or whether we take our vault key, we hit a bank, we get as much money as we possibly can, and we upgrade the base stats of these agents as much as we can, because that final mission is coming, and because of the kind of flop of missions that have come out for us, we really haven't had the chance to get equipment which can deal with some of the armor levels we're going to be seeing in those guards. So we need agents to be as souped up as they can possibly be. So I'm going to have to go away and think about that. It might actually be a couple of weeks before I get to tackle those last couple of missions we're going to be doing. But if you've been watching this, thank you very much for joining me. I've been Hold My Kidney, and I'll see you again soon.